Well, hello and welcome to today's Material Musings, this session where we've got fresh sheets of fabric that we're going to be playing about with. I've got some tea-stained paper, and this is probably my least favourite stamps that I don't normally go to very often. And these are a lot of the letter ones, so I don't use a lot of the lettering in my stamping, but I'm thinking maybe I need to change that. And there's some that I had bought that I haven't used at all. This was when I was going to be doing some what do you call it, cards. And then I've got, yeah, all the wooden ones. I've given quite a few away, and then we've got these clear ones that again have just been lounging in this space, and they, you know, I've got a few of those blocks to attach them. And yeah, back many years ago I would use them and use them quite a lot. So there's these types, and I want to see what it's going to be like on the fabric. And you can, with these, you can spell out a word, or the way I'm thinking of using it is just, you know, you ink up a selection of letters. It's just something random, and then you add that to the surface. Like when we look at this, I could just take that and stamp. Yeah, stamp on the surface. I don't even need to take it off these. So let's have a play around, and I'll show you some of the shapes. So let's do this one. I'm feeling to do that one. This is I do have a larger one. Larger, what do you call it? Thing for the stamps. Anyway, so I'm not going to do all of it. I'll just do the first few. We'll see how we get on. And again, I could just be creating a background to start, yeah? It doesn't have to be that it's the main part. And then these backgrounds are always great to use and to work with. Okay? And I think it's very similar with the rest of them, that, you know, you could use it as, let's put that back on, you could use it as the individual, or you could just stamp a few and get the shapes down. So we've got a selection of shapes there that I might want to cut out individually or not, or just use it again as a background rather than, you know, I'm just making marks on the surface. I've got some sentiments and phrases which would be nice to place on the surface. So let me take this one. I'm not sure what I didn't look at and see what it said first. But it's one that I haven't used, so it's just like, let's just get it on there. So I've got my thing, and you can, you know, strain it up depending on what you're, like if you're, a lot of my stamp plastic things have kind of blown from the inside. Anyway, so just going to put that on there. Stamp it up. And let's put it here. I think it's upside down. Yes, this is my promise, not only on our wedding day, but for each day that follows. That's probably why I haven't used it, because it was for a wedding. Okay. But again, you know, it can be just the background, and I could do some stuff over it. What else? These are pretty much all the same, so I'm not going to go through those. I've got these foam stamps that letters, and again, I didn't use them, didn't get round to using them, and you split them up individually, but you can use it as a block as well, and just make marks on the surface for yourself. You could make marks on the fabric, and you could stitch it and then cut it out, or you're just using this as a way to make marks on the surface and not worry about, you know, I'm not trying to spell anything out. Let's see, on the paper, we know on the paper it's going to look nice, especially when we use it on the tea-dyed paper. Yeah, so it's very fancy kind of lettering for that one. Let's see what else we have. I've got some more lettering stamps, and we've got these ones, which, you know, are cute because you can spell the word that you want. You just have to sort out the lines, and one of the yeah, so you just sort out the lines. You could draw the lines in, or, you know, again, more letters. And then these, let's use one. I've just been sitting there, so let's use the number 2 down here. So again, you would put it on a block, and then stamp it out. Gives you that extra pressure. Yeah. So I could do quite a few of those, and do the stitching. You could stitch round it if you wanted to, you know, do some stitching, do some slow stitching in the shape itself. And you can do that with the letters as well. You know, you could stitch around them, stitch in them, and again, just use it as a background and layer it. So I've got another container of the clear stamps. I used to get craft magazines, and so some of the craft magazines would have these like little stamps that they would give free in each episode. I think I bought that one. Did I? Yeah, I did so much. But yeah, so a lot of these, like this one, is was free in a magazine, and I've never used it. So let's use it, shall we? Let's christen it. So, and it says you are sew, as in stitching. Lovely. I haven't bought a magazine in a long time. So let me take one of my Perspex blocks. Let's see, I do have, as I say, I do have a few of them, and I did have some large, there we go, it's a large one. So they come in a range of different sizes, just in case you weren't familiar. And this is what you would use for the clear stamps. And what I found over the years is they get a bit kind of odd, like from the inside out. It's like, I don't know whether it's a tiny crack or whatever it is. I don't know if anybody else has those issues. Anyway, so let's just get to use one, and I'll take this off. Yes, I would have got these, yeah, it's over 10 years. And I'm sure you've got stuff that you haven't used. Oh, you see? It's been such a long time, or I was just so rough that it's beginning to disintegrate. So what I'm going to do is not take it off there. It's partially off. But let me take this, see if I can take the small ones off. Maybe I was just too rough. Let's get the smaller block. And put these, I think one's a button, like a heart pin. So I'll put these on the smaller one. It's split. And this says, so happy for you, as in S-E-W. Yeah, but literally, that's why some of them, I just use them as is. This has never happened to me before. Yeah, that's never happened to me before. Alright, let's see if we can get it off. Just get it off. Nope, I'm not. It's just going to split. So this middle section, which is the wording, which says so happy for you, is going to come off. So let me just see if I can even just get one stamping from it. One impression. Let's see what we can get. It's going to be quite faint. Alright, let me use a brayer. Or, like you would use the back of this, helps you push it down. Let's see. Yeah, if I didn't move it around. So I'm going to have to keep it on this, because I'll try and get a better one. Can't move it around, so let's put it down, yeah? and I'll just put the block on it. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. So I have to keep it on that, and then whatever else is on there as we clean it off. So it's a clean off sheet. And the ones that we took off from around the, let me just fix them on here. Put that there, and a button there. Okay. So yeah, if you don't use it, they're very small. And if you think, they're giving them away in the magazine, so it's like, it's not as if you're going to get, you know, in terms of the materials that it's made from, so happy for you. But there's still, that can still be used, and so I can still, you know, if I've got, you know, the strips, I can use the strips and do the wording as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna rub it off there. Okay, should we see another one? Oh dear, oh my goodness. All of these are all like keys, not used, but they're feeling a bit, they're better in terms of, they're better made. So let me see. Oh, I didn't even need to take them off the block. I could have kept them on there, but anyway, let's use a lock and a key. Let's see what we get. So this is something that I definitely need to go through. Ooh, did you see that? Where is it? That's all right, isn't it? And it's just like you're sitting on these things and you don't even realise how nice they could potentially look. Let me do it on fabric. Ooh, yeah. Right, so one of the things, as I say, I would potentially do is, you know, try and do them all at once. And if I was just, you know, creating a background, I would just ink them up. It's my first time using them. But I never thought of using the stamps that I had purchased from the store on fabric. I just knew that I wanted to have my own designs and to yeah, I just wanted my own designs basically. And let's put this on the paper and roll it. Okay, just to get the last of the ink off. Okay, so look at that, that's coming up nicely as a background sheet that I can use in collage, and it's similar to the fabric. We've got some nice stamps, and I would just go through and look, I've got one that's got Travel Explore, we've got, these are again free stamps from Paper Mania. I've got another stamp which is calendar stamp, which I don't really use. Some more shapes and birdies. So we've got some birdies. So what I would need to do is to look, see, this looks like trouble. This one looks like it doesn't want to come off, and these are, I've got a nice selection of birds, and what I would have to do is just take this top layer off if I can, and leave them on as is, because I don't want to rip the birds. We'll see. Okay. So that one at the bottom is the one that doesn't want to come off. Oops. Yeah, that's the one that, yeah, it tore it. And if I try with a small one, see, I could try with a small one and try and get it off, but it wouldn't make sense because it would just damage the birds. So all I do is stamp as is, and then if I wanted, I'm gonna need another, let's use the paper. So they're quite cute. So if I wanted the birds, I could just do them as a group, or I could cut this that they're on, rather than trying to take them off this and putting them on the Perspex block. I can just use them as they are here. Let's have a look at the bottom ones. Yeah, so they'd be quite cute on the fabric. Let me do the fabric now. Let me see if I've got any space. I haven't got any space on that one, so let me take another piece. Okay. Just going to lay it down here. I'm going to take this large ooh. Do you want to come in? Look. So these are really lovely that I can then stitch around them or cut them out and stitch it to another thing, you know, cut out the shape of this bird. So go through the stamps that you may have. Oh, look. This is the last one I'm going to show you. Let me just make sure that there's nothing left on here. And there is. It doesn't matter that it's blurred. Again, it just acts like a background layer. Look at this. This was, these are like dress forms. So that's what we've got. I have used these ones actually. I don't need to stamp these out, but these would be nice to stitch as well. You know, again, so if you don't have like ideas of shapes and things, you know, you can look in your magazines, you can look in some of these books, they have, you know, shapes and things like that, or geometric shapes that you can copy the pattern and use that as stitching. And do you know what, one of those geometric shapes, I've got some of those books, and they would be nice for Boro Shishiko and the stitching, Shishiko. Anyway, so yeah, again, that would be nice to do some of the stitching and, you know, do the different colours in terms of the outfit. And one that, yeah, I think I've used all of them, so I don't need to, I'm not going to be demonstrating, but yeah, get your clear stamps, dig them out and start using them. Again, look, this, oh, that's an embossing folder. We've got flowers there, we've got, what's this? This is like another travelling one, square urban stamp. We've got some shapes for tags. That's a travel one. Some more tags here. We've talked about that one. This is some birds and some words. Actually, these are my favourites, so I will stamp that. We've got some butterflies. With this one, I didn't really like the... they haven't done it well enough in terms of the detail, because the detail is very faint. So let us, got some more birdies. Okay, so this one I had decided just to cut out from its plastic thing and use it like this. I could take it off, but I chose not to. Okay, so, and I can still, I might have smudged it there. It says, a bird doesn't sing because it has an answer, it sings because it has a song, by Maya Angelou. And then I've got the word inspire there, and that's quite nice. So that's quite a nice clear design. I don't have to stitch that, I can just add it to a stitched piece. See if we've got any more coming off. That's quite faint there. Yeah, so let's look and see what we have going on. So far, so we've got the letters, so using letters and words and phrases and sentiments in your you know, you can use the letters to make a word or just use it to create a background. And looking at all the different types of stamps, clear stamps that you may have that you can use, practice on paper, but the paper's not going to go to waste because these can be added as really nice backgrounds. And then, you know, just working with them on the fabric as well and experimenting. And sometimes it might be that, you know, they could be ready to give up the ghost, but I don't have to throw this away now because I'm just going to keep it on here and I can still use it. It still makes a nice print. Okay, so dig out all of those stamps you've been sitting on, and whether you know, are able to get any free in a magazine, make the most of them. Look, this hasn't even been opened. Let's open it. Let's open it together and I will find a spot. Okay, let's do it on here. Oops. Okay, see? Free stamp. And I can, you know, if I had a figure, wanted to create wings or a bird or whatever it is, you know, again, nice little additions to your project that you can make the most of. So again, it's to have fun and, you know, explore in your supplies. I think that's really the essence of these Material Mondays. I needed to go back and see what I had. I've been sitting on, you know, we're sitting on so many supplies. We think, oh no, I need to go out and buy this, when we've got several in our several just waiting to be used. And it means that these get a second life. All of these in here get a second life, because now I can just get some more fabric and be printing them out, and I get to use them. And in a different way, because I'm not really into making the cards anymore, but I love working on fabric. And even if it is just that I cut out this and I'm laying on top this, something on top of this, and you might even get a little detail where it is just, oh, it's the key, kind of thing. It will, you know, enhance a project in so many gorgeous, lovely ways. So I hope that that's been useful. We're coming to the end of these series, so we will be at some point gathering them together at the end of the month and seeing what we're going to make with all of these fabrics that have been stamped. And I might even do in the background be making a journal page. These would be nice as signatures, actually. Yeah. Anyway, so I hope that has been fun, and I look forward to seeing what you're creating.